Hey there, and welcome. We're about to dive into this incredible story today, and it all centers around one special name, God with us. And trust me, it's a name that really does change everything.
Just think about that for a second. What if the most powerful being in the entire universe wanted to be your neighbor? Not some king in a far-off castle, right? But someone living right next door. Someone you could actually hang out with and be friends with. It's a wild thought. And honestly, it's the key to the whole story we're talking about.
Okay, so to really get why this idea of God being our neighbor is such a huge deal, we gotta go back in time. Way back. To a time when, well, there was this big, sad misunderstanding going on.
You see, for a long time, it felt like the whole world was just covered in this gloomy shadow. And we're not talking about a cloudy day here. This was a shadow made of a totally wrong idea about God, an idea that made everyone feel pretty scared and all alone.
So this slide really breaks it down for us. On one side, you had this big lie that was going around, the idea that God was this super strict, angry ruler just waiting for us to make a mistake. But the real truth? Couldn't be more different. The truth is, God's heart is just overflowing with love. He wants to be our friend. He's so kind and merciful.
So how do you fix a misunderstanding that big? I mean, how do you get rid of a shadow that's covering the whole world? Well, God had a plan. A rescue plan. And it wasn't about using power or force. It was about something way stronger.
And this part is so important. Think about it. You can't force someone to be your friend, right? You can't just order them to love you. It doesn't work that way. The only way to spark love and trust is to show love and trust first. And that, right there, was the heart of God's amazing plan.
And this whole incredible plan, it has a name. Immanuel. It's such a beautiful word, and it literally means God with us. That one name basically tells you the entire story of this rescue mission.
Okay, so if the plan was for God to show his love by being with us, how does that even work? I mean, how does the creator of everything just, pop in for a visit?
I just love this description. He pitched his tent by the side of the tents of men. Think about that. It's like a giant campground. God didn't build some massive, unapproachable palace way up on a hill. No, he came right down and set up his tent right next to ours.
Basically, he became our neighbor. He wanted to be so close that we could see him, hear him, and get to know him for real, as a person, as a friend.
And here's how we pulled it off. Jesus, who was fully God, had this incredible, shining glory, so bright you couldn't even look directly at it. So he kind of veiled it. He gently covered it up, almost like putting a lampshade on a super bright light bulb. And why? So we wouldn't be afraid. So we could walk right up to him and just talk without being overwhelmed.
All right, so Jesus is here. He's living in the neighborhood. What was his mission? What was he here to do? Simple. His entire life was about one thing, showing everyone what God's heart is really like.
You know, when you look around, you start to see this amazing pattern in how the world works. It's like a law of giving. Just think about it for a sec. The sun doesn't keep its light for itself, right? Flowers give away their beauty and their scent. The ocean takes in water, but only to give it back as rain. Every tree is giving us the very air we need to breathe. The whole world is built on this incredible cycle of giving.
And Jesus, he was the ultimate example of this law of giving. His entire life was just one big act of giving. Giving help, giving hope, giving healing, and more than anything else, just giving love to every single person he met. So you can picture it this way. Every time Jesus healed someone or just showed a simple act of kindness, it was like he was holding up a perfect mirror. And in that mirror, people could finally see the true face, the true character of God. He was showing everyone that God's law isn't about a boring list of rules. It's about a life that's built on love.
So what's the end of the story? What was the incredible result of this whole plan of God becoming our neighbor just to show us he loves us?
Okay, let's break down the whole story in 3 simple steps. 1. There was a massive misunderstanding about God, and it made people feel lost and afraid. 2. Jesus showed up as our neighbor to clear things up and show us the truth. And 3. Because of what he did, we can now be close to God forever. It's that simple and that amazing. And get this. This might be the most amazing part of all. Because Jesus actually became one of us, he built this unbreakable bridge between humanity and God. A bridge that's so strong we can now be even closer to God than if we'd never been separated to begin with. How incredible is that? And it all comes back to that one powerful name, doesn't it?
Immanuel, God with us. You see, this isn't just a cool story from a long, long time ago. It's a promise that God wants to be with you, right here, right now. So that leaves us with a pretty big thought. What does it mean for you to have God as your neighbor today?